The artist behind the mural is Gustavo Zermeño Jr.
LA-based artist Gustavo Zermeño Jr.
The artist, Gustavo Zermeño Jr., wanted this location because he grew up in the area.
A star, that mural of Shohei Ohtani was created by artist Gustavo Zermeño Jr.
Gustavo has always been very artistic since he was a little boy. He was born in Santa Monica, California, and we moved here to Venice, to this home, in 1992. He was 5.
Growing up in my house, I guess it was a normal childhood, I guess. You know, both my parents, they were from Mexico, so we had a lot of those like Mexican traditions. You know, I went to school, I had a lot of friends, I played sports.
A lot of people know him as GZ Jr. nowadays. I know him as Gustavo, who I basically met when I was in elementary school. My boy, Gustavo.
What up? It's good, huh?
And I used to be like, yo, Gustavo, what's up? Wherever we went, we said, what's up? Growing up watching Gustavo's career just take off has been one of the coolest things in the world.
His first mural was at Hoagie's, and it was the Venice canals. It was a beautiful mural.
You know, growing up, Hoagie's was the spot to go to. So Hoagie's is a restaurant that it's been in Venice for, I mean, since I was a kid we used to go there, so I don't know how long prior to that they've been there, but Hoagie's is one of those true, I guess, original, you know, staples in Venice that is still holding strong there in Venice.
And that was also his first time that he was in a commercial, or they used his mural in a commercial.
So I had a car show, and I told Gustavo, yo, Gustavo, I have an idea. So I said, I'm having a car show, I'm a car collector, and you want to paint there? And he was like, is there a wall there? He drew me in my 64. To see yourself in artwork, in art form, it's still like one of the coolest things. And he did it all during the art show. To see where, I mean, he's worked with every sports, you know, like every sports team in LA. You can name it Dodgers, Rams, you know, it's just Lakers, which is the biggest sports teams in the world. It's hard to believe, but it's not hard to believe because he kind of just manifested all this.
Science Center time-lapse footage showing you what it took for him to create this mural. When you get here Thursday, you'll see it is enormous.
For the Science Center, I used a doodle grid to get the image up. Usually with the grid, you'll have it like foot by foot, and you know, you mark off 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, and you make a grid, and then you kind of layer your design on top. So it's similar to that, but without the measuring part. You just do lines on the wall and then layer your image on top and trace it out. For other projects like the Nipsey basketball court, I actually built, you know, giant stencils, and with the stencils I laid them out on the court so we would have the design. You could use a projector. There's a lot of different ways to lay your image out onto what you're trying to paint. Doing mural is the most difficult part, is the scale of it, because you're so close to the work itself, so you constantly have to back up and make sure you're, you know, within the right space.
A Kendrick mural was actually defaced in Compton.
I particularly get very disappointed when people go in and tag the murals or, you know, destroy them because they're a piece of art.
It sucks, but at the same time, I know someone like Gustavo would be like, well, let me go do it again. I don't think things like that really get to him.
He refreshes the paint and makes it beautiful again. He gets a little frustrated, but he goes in there and makes it beautiful again.
I used to get upset when my murals would get, taken down or tagged on or whatever it may be, but at this point, like I don't take it personally, if that makes any sense. The majority of the time, it has nothing to do with my work personally or me in general. If I got upset every single time someone tagged on my mural, like I don't think that type of energy leads to more positive situations. So I think just understanding that, like, maybe I love the mural, maybe the neighborhood loves the mural, but there's somebody that didn't, it is what it is.
Even though it was a negative thing that happened, it was a positive thing. Like bro, like Kendrick spoke about your mural. Doing what you love to do, if you took all the negatives and you let the negative things get to you, then you wouldn't be able to do positive things. So you just take a negative and you make it into a positive, and it is what it is, and you just keep going.
And when somebody goes in there and tags it grossly, that's what really, I guess, hurts my feelings, because I love my son, and he put so much work into it that it's disappointing. The murals have a story, where a tagging has a name. It's different. It's different.
If I had a son now that told me, like, yo, Dad, like, I'm tagging, obviously I wouldn't want him to, like, mess up private property. But I would tell him, like, yo, like, if you're gonna tag, you better be good, bro.
If you were to catch him, I guess, tagging, what would be your initial thoughts to seeing him do that?
If I would find out that he was tagging, I would definitely explain to him the difference between tagging and art, because he's an artist. He's not a tagger.
The thing about tagging is it's a lifestyle. I would never get into it in that sense, just because I understand that it's like, it's one of those things that, yeah, you can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, you're either a tagger or you're not a tagger. And I'm not a tagger, so I'm not gonna, like, go around pretending I am.
If I had to describe Gustavo in a couple of words, right off the bat, everybody would say the most humble dude. He's always giving back, and I know he's always thinking about, like, nonprofit opportunities.
He's always been very good to his cousins, his friends, his parents. I have never seen him say things that were demeaning or anything like that. So no, he's good.
And we always talk about, like, not everything is always about money. So, like, sometimes giving back feels more fulfilling to us than actually doing it for something, right?
My whole goal was to just create art. Like, yeah, making money off of it was cool. I had a part-time job, and I had money saved up. I was so passionate about creating art that I don't think it mattered. If I made money, cool. If not, then I'll figure out another way to make money. Like, I don't think money was ever my issue, so I don't think money was ever my goal. Does that make sense?